So when I say artist treatment, what I mean is like how did the organization treat you guys? You know, like how was like the accommodation? How was like the treatment while the event was going on? Prize money, stuff like that. You know, like what comes in mind first for you?
Okay. First of all, the accommodation was super nice since it was the Westin Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel in the middle of Warsaw. There's a crazy elevator, like it's like, I don't know, it's a big tower, so you can see all Warsaw, and the elevator is crazy. And amazing rooms, amazing hotel. The thing is, I'm talking on my point of view again, but I think it's shared by a lot of people. We don't care. What I mean is like, I'm not saying we don't want a crazy 5-star hotel. Of course we want. It was amazing. We went to the sauna before the battle. It was super relaxing. We had an amazing time there, of course. And it was a pretty big move, nice move, honestly. The thing is, like, as a beatboxer, I would matter more if, for example, the GBB would help me, for example, a bit to pay my flight and give me a less normal hotel, you know what I mean? And also the spirit of this place didn't match that much our spirit as beatboxers. Let me explain. As a beatbox organizer, you have to expect that people want to party, people want a nice place to jam, for example.
Or a place to jam.
Yeah.
Not even a nice place.
Yeah, just a place, just where we can be noisy.
Put them anywhere,
yeah, exactly, because we're beatboxers and that's what we do. And literally after 2 years of COVID, we just wanted to, have drinks and party and beatbox hard, Well, everyone did that. I was just, sleeping at 10 and drinking tea because I was participating, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's the spirit. That was complicated because we were in front of the hotel and of course people complained. Nothing crazy happened, people were just noisy.
Just beatboxing.
Just beatboxing and chilling. And yeah, people, of course, we had to move and we had to move.
I remember like they called police multiple times.
Yeah, right? Yeah, because
so it was kind of like
The thing is, it's for me as a beatbox organizer, you have to expect that beatboxers are gonna be noisy. Like it has to be in the package. I know Nexor, for example, the organizer of the Vocal Total. Yeah, is always like when I went to these events, there was always a place where we could just jam until late if we wanted. There was always somewhere where we could be noisy because it's what we do and we want to exchange.
That's why we go to the events, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you can't expect us to not do that because that's so much part of the spirit of the beatbox events. Again, it's my opinion. I think it's shared by several pro beatboxers. If you don't agree with me, again, you can tell it in the comments. We can argue, and that's also why we're doing this video, I think.
I just can agree with this, I saw even like competitors, being outside, standing off the hotel and, try to catch up with others, having a good time. And then they were like, they got told that if they don't stop being noisy outside, they get kicked out of the event,
I saw that kind of stuff.
The event gets cancelled, like stuff like that. I heard, rumors going on. But in fact, it was just not suitable for a beatbox event,
Exactly.
Beatboxers want to meet up. There was no alternative, there was not like, okay guys, if you want to hang out, there's another venue close, or a bar where you can jam, whatever it is, there was no alternative for the beatboxers. So they had to meet at the hotel, but at the same time, it was basically like, if you want to describe it in a picture, it was like the crazy artist next to the guy in a suit, There were like people working in banks, whatever, high class people, let's say it like that, who could afford a 5-star hotel because it's an expensive hotel, right? And then there's a bunch of beatboxers. Of course, they will complain about noisy people.
Of course, and it happens all the time.
For me, it feels like the organization was kind of disconnected from the beatbox scene because they didn't understand what the beatboxers really need. Yeah,
that's what I felt too, honestly. Like I feel like it's still manageable, that kind of stuff, the noise, the hotel when it's a small event. And honestly, GBB was a kind of small event, until like 2017, still was small, like, so it arrived very quickly. So I think like they didn't adapt that much, like they didn't have the time to adapt also. Like that's why I don't want to blame them 100%. It grew so big, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, if you remember like the GBBs before, it always happened like in a youth hostel, you know, like in Basel back then there was a youth hostel. Even the first year GBB in Warsaw was a hostel, you know, a cheaper hostel where mostly young people were hanging out, you know, so it wasn't that of a big deal. I also remember there was a GBB 2019, there was also like a basement where people could hang out, just in case like it gets too noisy outside, you know.
Yeah.
All the stuff was like prepared, you know, but this year I didn't see anything where you could meet up and like have a proper conversation with people, jam together.
It's the kind of the basics of organizing a beatbox event. Like I'm not saying it in a cocky way or something, but it's beatboxers, they're gonna beatbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they meet up, especially after 2 years of no GBB and no COVID, and we had no alternative, you know. We could go in our rooms, but, you know, it's not the vibe you have, you know. If I go to a beatbox event, I want to be able to go from jam, to listen to the guys and the girls who are killing it, you know.
You also don't want to invite 50 people into your hotel room.
No.
That's it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So that's the thing, you know. I prefer like sleeping. Honestly, I don't mind having, you know, a 3-star hotel. That's okay.
Yeah, hostel.
You know?
Fine.
Just a hostel.
Absolutely fine. Let us jam. Let us meet up. Let us drink. Just have a good time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but for me, this is not the only thing, you know, like how they treated you guys in the hotel. Yeah. You also mentioned like you had to do extra stuff like before the event, like at the event itself. There was like lots of miscommunication. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you basically everything that happened from the moment I arrived in the Uber at the GBB. We arrived at the hotel with some of the French guys, and we entered the lobby. Of course, I see everyone I haven't seen in 2 years, like my idols, all the people from America, Asia, I'm meeting or seeing again. So I'm super happy, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna jam, I'm gonna exchange, learn new sounds, you know. It's because that's the spirit. Of course, I had the opportunity to do that, but that's not the point. When I arrived, immediately a member from the SBX team told me, you guys, you need to sign a couple of papers. We're sorry, you have to do it now.
Like a contract.
You sign a contract, take the money, because they gave us a bit of money for the food expenses for the week, and also bracelet, you know, schedule, a lot of stuff, you know, to keep us informed. So that's pretty normal. That happens in a lot of events. So we arrived and we started signing stuff. And honestly, I didn't look at the contract because they were kind of rushing us. They were like, yeah, there's a lot of people. You have to sign now, like quickly, just do it. And, you know, so I just sign it, take my stuff. Did you get
a copy of the contract?
No, I didn't. And but yeah, that's crazy. Actually, I didn't get one. Yeah, and
you can't even look right now what you gave away.
I mean, I don't remember having one. Maybe some others had, but I didn't. I don't think I did. A couple of times after, I learned that basically I was giving out all what I was doing on the GBB stage to Swissbeatbox,
like the rights of your music.
Yeah, I had no opportunity again to read the contract, but Elise did. Shout out to Elise, and that's basically what he told me. I think that's something, although necessary to be able to put stuff out on your YouTube channel. You need the authorization of the people, you know, you're contracting. The thing is like
especially when you're making money with this, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I understand it, you know, like if I go to a battle, for example, I have to sign that I'm allowed to be filmed and that kind of stuff, you know, it's normal. The thing is there was no information on it. I think it was not only something about image or something, but really about the musical rights. I'm not sure about that. Okay, that's Elise that told me, and several people who read the contract. Maybe we can clarify this, and I would love to see the contract again because I don't have a copy anyway. But that's not acceptable, especially because I worked a lot on those tracks and they're mine, you know. So at least if they explained it to me and gave me the chance to say yes or no, that kind of stuff, you know.
And also you don't know right now like what could happen to your tracks.
No. Right? So it's pretty, you know, it's a pretty weird situation because I don't know what I signed. I trust people, so I just signed it and I was like, yeah, there's probably formalities for the videos and then. But if this is real, that's pretty unprofessional and really problematic, especially from such a big organization. So yeah, so that was the 15 first minutes of when I arrived.
Wow.
After, during 2 days, we had to record social media content. We're not informed about this either. That means if an artist performs on a video of GBB at the end, there's this, is there, you know, saying, hey, what's up? It's name of the artist, go subscribe to my channel, that kind of stuff. And we had to record this. We had really precise schedules and we were, you know, obligated to do it. So I did it. I did this for a couple of social media content. That's where we did also, we did a couple of shoutouts. I didn't want to really, honestly, but it was kind of obligated. So
like beatbox freestyles for Swissbeatbox additional content.
Yeah, so I did my drill beat, but honestly I don't really want it to be a shoutout, but anyway. And arrived the interviews. So we did a couple of interviews that you probably saw on SBX channel, which is a really good thing. Some of them are really good, and I think it's really important to ask why beatboxers are there. A really good idea. I really love it. The thing is, there's a real disconnection again. Some questions I didn't know how to answer them. One of the questions was like, how do you enjoy when you practice?
Okay. Well,
and answer me, how do you enjoy when you practice?
How do you enjoy your practice? You mean?
Just answer me.
I have fun when I do it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. Some questions were interesting. I'm taking the picky one. The thing is, like, I could tell, like, by reading it, when I first saw the questions, because we had them before, I was like, yeah, that's not written by a beatboxer. Directly, 100%. That's honestly too bad, because the person who were interviewing us were beatboxers. MC Zaini, who was world champion in crew with the Beatbox Collective. Hobbit, the same, vice champ so many times also of the UK.
Vice champ at Loop Station.
GBB, at GBB, exactly, yeah. Zaini is champion of the UK also, I think. So, and Basics also, former member of the Beatbox Collective, who's also the world champion in crew. So those people know about beatboxing, and you know, we could have had a nice conversation with them and some really specific questions that like something more personal, something, you know. But instead we got like some really like formal questions that were probably written by someone in a desk who does marketing or something, but definitely that was not a beatboxer. So I was a bit disappointed by it. Shout out to the ID though, it's really good. Just next time make it right by a beatboxer. I think it's it's a bit easier, you know. Or just don't write questions and let the interviewers like adapt, you know, like and improvise a little bit, because I could feel they were like, you know, wanted to ask more and more specific questions.
Okay, so they had like a direction, they had like a script they had to follow, but they couldn't like
definitely
have a conversation with you guys. They were like obligated to.
Obligated. They were kind of also. It's too bad. We would have loved you to ask you this and this. Because each beatboxer is different. Every question was the same for each category, for example.
Oh, okay.
For example, I participated in solo and tag team, and some of I had to answer again the same questions with solo and tag team. You know, I watched some of the interviews. I think some of them are entertaining and interesting, but honestly, I didn't see like that much interest, because the questions don't dig really deep into what the artist is doing. I'm a bit picky right now, because I know it's but
to be honest, like me, I saw like one interview, not even the whole thing, and I was just like, it's not interesting, you know. Like there's no emotion, you know. I would love to see like how did the guys feel on stage, you know, like, or how did they prepare several rounds or something, you know.
Exactly.
Something that is really personal, that you don't get to see on the videos, or that you can't research by yourself, but this is like really really close to the artist. But for me it was just like, okay, when did you start beatboxing, why did you start beatboxing? I'm like, it's not so interesting,
it's like, it's basically like this question that are not written by beatboxers. And yeah, that's
kind of like a newspaper that heard from beatboxing. The first time, you know.
Kind of.
Like, oh, what is beatboxing, by the way? Yeah. Can you explain me in a few words what is beatboxing?
Exactly. Yeah, kind of. You know, how do you enjoy while you practice? That marked me forever. How do you enjoy while you practice?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's disconnected, and it's still a good idea, and I'm not blaming on it. Just you have beatboxers in your team, trust them, you know. Like especially you have beatboxers who interview people, the other beatboxers.
Yeah, like that's what I also don't get. Why they use beatboxers, but then they don't use the expertise.
Yeah, we're not perfect. I think I was late for one of the interviews. It's really hard because there's a lot of people. For example, I had to do one of my interviews like later or earlier because there were schedule problems, because some people were late or something. You know, it's like it happens in every event, and that's maybe because some of the interviews feel rushed also. I didn't watch them all, but probably some of them feel rushed. So it's not them to blame 100%. But the questions could be like way more personal and interesting.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So that was the content I had to do before GBB, before the competition happened. And also I want to mention, normally it's a moment where you're like kind of focusing and rehearsing. We had the time for that, no worries, but just tell us before. We have to do interviews and at what time maybe before, you know, so we can...
Interviews, content, additional content,
Like it's mentally, you have to prepare like at this point, at this level, I think beatboxing is almost, it's a high level sport, you know. You have to have a strategy, you have to arrive healthy and well prepared. It's a lot of pressure also. So it's really important to have time to focus a lot, you know. And those side things seem like nothing, but it really got me a bit out of the competition.
Yeah.
And got me just a bit, stressed and anxious, but not for the good reasons. Nothing crazy, but that's it.
The next point I want to ask you, I think this deserves a special topic. The special topic for me is prize money or payment of artists.